it's kind of going to be a season of self-reflection and I think growth, character relationships, and kind of seeing where each of the characters, go in terms of dealing with how we left off with Cameron, and even with the program, the bigger questions of the program, like what are we actually doing here, and dealing with kind of the life and death situations that we go through every day that we're not really noticing until one of our, one of our loved ones is put in that situation, and kind of the effect it has on us as individual characters and our relationships with each other.
And for my part, I can say that the events of the finale definitely leave Camille reeling and reconsidering what her real function is in this organization. And with that comes the desire to be more physically prepared. So she goes through fight training, like I did this summer, and pulls away emotionally, I think, from the whole group. And I have the burden of knowing too much that I can't share, but
secrets.
Yeah, but Camus is still a thing. Linus has some catching up to do with Camille.
Yeah.
But
there'll be some growing up, some maturing.
Yeah.
I think he's going to try and figure out how to play to a more sophisticated version of himself.
He's got to get on her level.
Exactly. We knew that, episode 2 there was some flirting. It was
like chemistry.
But
the sex scene in episode 3, I was like, oh.
It was like automatic. I was like reading it and I was like, oh, all right.
Like, so we're not going to worry about earning this. We're just going to go for it.
Just do it, right? So that's kind of what happened, and it's kind of been pinballing, kind of back and forth.
Yeah.
I think now we'll lead to a 2.0 version of that relationship.
Of all of us.
Of all of us, yeah. And
bigger, badder, sexier, ready to rock.
We're going to have time for you to have
out of the first
we're going to cut the rest of
your
this
favorite moment? What was your favorite moment to shoot?
I mean,
I think it's the
same. Is it the same?
It's probably the same, yeah.
The dinner scene with Linus's parents.
Yeah,
it was the best.
It's just fun. It was a breath of fresh air because we were in the lab, always working on cases, and this was the first time that we kind of got to see a little slice of outside life that didn't really have to do with the lab. It just had to do with Camille and Linus as people, with Linus's family, and the actors who play my parents are so hilarious,
phenomenal,
and they're so sweet. It's like we just had a total blast.
Yeah. There were many moments of like real life familiarity for me of like winning over some parents who you realize like you might even like the parents more than you like the guy. But it was great because it was so loaded. There was so much subtext from everyone, right? There's the parents have their agenda. Linus has his agenda. Camille has hers, and nobody's really listening to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's sort of saying what they don't feel. It was loaded. I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I want to become the Black Widow of the group. I want to pull away and become like kick ass. I'm trying to just turn Camille into an action star. That's it. And actually, bisexual. I made the choice in the beginning that Camille is bi. I don't think the showrunner agrees with me, but hey, I just think it's 2015. Like, visibility is important. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be an after-school special. I think it's just, it doesn't have to be an episode. It's just a moment. Yeah. Camille's a girl of the world. I think it fits out of any character. I think I'm ready to be like representational of that. So.
I think
talks are you just
I've been talking a lot. I don't know that I've necessarily been heard.
Is anyone listening? No, that's
exactly.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it. Everybody has a change. There's a big swing, I think, for every character starting for the second season. A lot of changes, and her character gains a lot of power and she likes it because she's
power hungry.
She's very power hungry, and I think for Fisher, if he wakes up, it'll be a big eye-opening experience for him, and I think that he really wants to keep the gang safe, make sure that they're watching out for themselves, and also trying to find out the truth. What is really going on with the Stitches program. What is really going on with the Stitches play? You're the person to ask, right?
I think every few episodes you get a little more information about why are we really there? Is it really just about solving cases? And of course, that's the fun of what's going on and why people are dying and getting killed off, and is this big secret. And hopefully you won't find that out for another 6 years because we're still on the air. or there'll be a new secret that we have to unfold. Well, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to know more about, especially the picture.
Well, I think that's what's so much fun is that you don't really, for Maggie, is you don't know really exactly where she's coming from. I think you can see that she obviously cares about the kids that are, and I keep saying kids, but it's true.
We're adults.
Well, but she cares about them. She doesn't want harm to come to them, but she does have an agenda, and she does have a mission and a job to do. And sometimes I think those things, bump into each other. And which way is she going to go? What's more important? Yeah, and I don't know, honestly, as an actress, I don't know everything that they're going to be writing, but I told them that I am fascinated by the darker side of Maggie, and you're not necessarily always knowing if she's good or bad. And I think that that's what I've seen when people are tweeting me and stuff. They like that. They're like, Maggie's bad, Maggie's good, and I like that they don't really know.
No, it's we ended on such a high stakes note, and I think that experience is going to change every character in some way. So there are going to be different characters coming back, and they're going to be going through different things and exploring different things. We're going to keep it at that high intensity level, which is exciting because we love that stuff. We love all of the really intense, acting chops moments. So we're going to keep it there, and we're going to make it even more intense. And we're going to discover a lot more about the characters and who they are and how they got there. I'm excited to learn more about Linus and Fisher and Maggie and their backstories and why, how they got into the program, who they are. I think we're going to pull out the characters a little more and the relationships between the characters, because I think that's really the driving force behind the show is the relationships. That's what everybody cares about. That's what makes you care about watching it all, is the people in it. So, yeah. Anything to add?
I mean, they want an ambitious show on the same budget.
Yes.
So,
yes.
We'll do our best.
Very ambitious show.
Are you happy to get out of the lab?
It's my favorite. Every day we're not in the lab is a great day.
Lab days are our least favorite days.
It's just fluorescent lights and water tanks.
And it's a really squeaky
space.
floor, too. So they put down talcum powder to make people's shoes squeak less, which has resulted in some accidents, some falling. Yeah. Well, because it's slippery. They keep it nice and warm. Yeah, it's nice and warm.
She's getting paid to sit in the hot tub. There's no pity on that girl.
Is there anything you guys do to try to remember that technical jargon?
I just say it over and over and over again, and then you Wikipedia it. And you're like, that's not a word, so It's not my fault if I can't actually memorize that.
I'm really, really lucky, and I don't know why, I don't know how. I just don't find it terribly difficult.
Yeah, but
I also have the least of it, though.
I
heard. I forget who said it.
I should try that.
I definitely have the least technical jargon out of everyone. You and Maggie, because I'm the one who's coming into the program not knowing everything, so I have the least stuff to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Did they ever correct your that's not how
They will, they'll correct me more than anything else is my pop culture references that I kind of butcher. And they're like, it's an impression. I'm like, I haven't seen that movie. And they're like, there's YouTube, and I was just like, listen, Jeff, our audience
artistic freedom.
Teenagers. They're not going to get this reference if the majority of the 20-somethings don't get this reference. But, he's going to stick to his guns and wants what he wants. And
I'd be impressed if everyone did get the references. It would be cool if somebody
there
really
are.
knew. Yeah.
No, I'm sure there's going to be
Pretty Penny, that was one really obscure one.
Yeah. Anyway.
Do you know Pretty Penny?
No.
Pretty Penny? See?
Pretty-
See?
Penny Pretty,
Does
I
that
think was the name.
register
It's like a
with it?
movie from the 80s
Yeah.
or something.
A sci-fi movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you know. See.
What references would I like to hear? Like,
Yeah.
I Volunteer's Tribute. That's more my world, you know?